Hey, it's Nathan, and this is day 10 of the Bible in 90 Days. We're in Numbers, chapters 1 through 8. Today brings us to the book of Numbers with these opening words. The Lord spoke to Moses in the tent of meeting in the desert of Sinai on the first day of the second month of the second year after the Israelites came out of Egypt. He said, "Take a census of the whole Israelite community by their clans and families, listing every man by name, one by one. You and Aaron are to count according to their divisions all the men of Israel who are 20 years old or more and able to serve in the army. One man from each tribe, each of them the head of his family, is to help you." Ah, yes, Numbers is a book with a bit of counting. But there are also quite a few fascinating details. Numbers, by the way, follows Israel's journey from the desert of Sinai through a long wilderness route ending on the plains of Moab by the Jordan, across from Jericho. Unfortunately, this journey includes a very long detour, which we will learn more about as we get further into the book. Chapter 2 describes the arrangement of the tribal camps, beginning with these words in verse 2. The Israelites are to camp around the tent of meeting some distance from it, each of them under their standard and holding the banners of their family. Chapter 3 counts the families of Aaron and Moses as well as the Levites. After reporting the count for all the Levitical males, these words are spoken by God. Count all the firstborn Israelite males who are a month old or more and make a list of their names. Take the Levites for me in place of all the firstborn of the Israelites, and the livestock of the Levites in place of all the firstborn of the livestock of the Israelites. I am the Lord. Moses then counts all of the firstborn males a month or older. After completing the count, God gives this instruction. Take the Levites in place of all the firstborn of Israel, and the livestock of the Levites in place of their livestock. The Levites are to be mine. I am the Lord. To redeem the 273 firstborn Israelites who exceed the number of the Levites, collect 5 shekels for each one, according to the sanctuary shekel, which weighs 20 gerahs. Give the money for the redemption of the additional Israelites to Aaron and his sons. Chapter 4 includes a census of the Kohathites, a branch of the Levites, and then the assignment to them of, in detail, I should say, of the disassembly of the tabernacle of meeting and its most holy things when the camp was about to move. Then the Gershonites are counted, and their assigned work, was carrying the tabernacle's curtains as well as the multi-layered covering of the tabernacle. And then it's the Merarites who are counted and then assigned the role of carrying the structural components of the tabernacle as well as the courtyard. We're talking about poles, wood panels, that kind of thing, as the tabernacle is in transit. The chapter ends with a summary of the numbers of the Levite clans. Then we're on to chapter 5, which begins by addressing how to handle persons with contagious diseases or other defiling conditions. Next, the need for restitution is addressed, and there are these comments about that. They must make full restitution for the wrong they have done, add a fifth of the value to it, and give it all to the person they have wronged. But if that person has no close relative to whom restitution can be made for the wrong, the restitution belongs to the Lord and must be given to the priest, along with the ram with which atonement is made for the wrongdoer. The final half of the chapter outlines a meticulous process by which a wife accused of having an affair could be confirmed guilty or not guilty. And it also the other way the text puts it is that, of course, in the text the word affair is not used. It is the offering or ceremony of jealousy. So if a husband was jealous that his wife was involved in an extramarital affair, there's a process delineated, and that is the last half of chapter 5. Chapter 6 introduces and details what's called a Nazirite vow. Here's an initial part of that instruction. If a man or woman wants to make a special vow, a vow of dedication to the Lord as a Nazirite, they must abstain from wine and other fermented drink, and must not drink vinegar made from wine or other fermented drink. They must not drink grape juice or eat grapes or raisins. As long as they remain under their Nazirite vow, they must not eat anything that comes from the grapevine, not even the seeds or skins. You're going to find out in a future story, one you may be aware of already, the story of Samson, that he is under the Nazirite vow. But those details are for a future story. This chapter ends with a beautiful blessing Aaron and his sons were to use in blessing the Israelites. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. So they will put my name on the Israelites, and I will bless them. Chapter 7 delineates the gifts given at the dedication of the tabernacle and begins with these words. When Moses finished setting up the tabernacle, he anointed and consecrated it and all its furnishings. He also anointed and consecrated the altar and all its utensils. Then the leaders of Israel, the heads of families who were the tribal leaders in charge of those who were counted, made offerings. They brought as their gifts before the Lord 6 covered carts and 12 oxen, and oxen from each leader and a cart from every 2. These they presented before the tabernacle. This description is then followed by a detailed recounting of each offering, which included silver, gold, and sacrificial animals. After summarizing the total of the gifts received, which is quite a list to read, by the way, it is fascinating reading chapter 7, especially going through the list near the end of the chapter of the pile of gifts that came in. Fascinating. Here is these words at the end of chapter 7. When Moses entered the tent of meeting to speak with the Lord, he heard the voice speaking to him from between the 2 cherubim above the atonement cover on the ark of the covenant law. In this way, the Lord spoke to him. Our final chapter today, chapter 8, begins with simple guidelines for setting up the lamps in the tabernacle. This is followed by careful guidelines for consecrating the Levites for their sacred work. The instruction for this consecration ceremony is followed by a note on the Levitical age of service. This is quite fascinating. And here it goes. Men 25 years old or more shall come to take part in the work at the tent of meeting. But at the age of 50, they must retire from their regular service and work no longer. They may assist their brothers in performing their duties at the tent of meeting, but they themselves must not do the work. This, then, is how you are to assign the responsibility of the Levites. So fascinating. The Levites served for 25 years, beginning at the age of 25 and continuing to the age of 50, which was their retirement. That's today's summary, but I want to come back to that priestly blessing in chapter 6 and just leave it with you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace.